Let's carry on with the file from our previous example and talk about rest machining. Rest machining is the process of machining material that's been left behind by other operations. In our case, we did an initial 2D contour on the outside of our part, so all this stock is left on top of this large face area. We did a pocket in this small area, as well as the finished contour on the inside, but we still have a lot of material to remove. So the next thing I want to take a look at is something called area mill. The first thing that we need to do is determine our machining regions. Now the way that we can do this is by selecting certain geometry that we want to stay inside of. So I'm going to select the outside contour. We're going to say OK. And notice that we can stay inside this region. We also have the option to come into it from outside. We have avoidance regions, air regions, containment regions, and an entry chain if we choose. We can also preview the chains on the screen. So let's go ahead and let's select a few avoidance regions. If we select Other Face, notice how it's chaining that contour. I'm going to say OK, and then I'm going to remove that selection. Let's try again and let's select this upper edge. I also am going to select this other area here and say OK. So now we have our avoidance regions. Let's preview the chain. The red area is the area that we're going to be avoiding. So you'll notice that it's technically backwards. If we change it to stay inside and preview the chain, you see that we're cutting inside of these areas. So what we need to do is we need to modify the chains by reversing them. So I'll go into each of these loops, I'll reverse it, and we'll say OK, and then preview the regions. I'm going to select From Outside and take a look. Let's go ahead and say OK, and take a look at this toolpath using a 1/2 inch end mill. We'll call this toolpath Rest Machining. Under Cut Parameters, we're going to leave all the default settings and simply say OK, and take a look at where the toolpath is cutting. So this toolpath is obviously not cutting the proper geometry. If we go to our levels and we hide our solid, you can see that it's cutting these inside regions and it's leaving the material here. So what we need to do is determine where we want this information to be cut. Back in our toolpath parameters, under Linking Parameters, we're going to associate the depth by only cutting down to this edge. If we say OK, we regenerate the dirty operation. We're now cutting the regions that we're expecting. Also notice that it's not going around this outside contour. We can fix that by going back into our toolpath type and taking a look at some of these areas. Our containment region is currently set up to From Outside, and this is great, but you notice that the tool isn't allowed to go too far out. In some cases, you might want to make a larger containment boundary if you want to carry the tool around those areas. Let's go ahead and turn on Depth Cuts, and let's set the max rough step to 0.25 with 1 inch step of 0.05. I also want to change the stock to leave on walls and floors to 0 in this case. We are going to turn on Minimize Burial and use all of the stock settings. Our transitions, we're going to use an entry helix, and we're going to use the entry feed rate based on a plunge rate. We don't need breakthrough in this case since we're not machining down to the bottom of a pocket, but we do want to check our linking parameters. Again, we're going to set our clearance to 0.1 absolute. Our retract will be 0.05 incremental, as well as our feed plane at 0.05 incremental, top of stock, and our associated depth. So let's say OK and let's regen that toolpath one more time. Now you can see we're cutting multiple depths and we're only focusing on the regions that haven't been cut yet. Because the outside contour has already been cut, those are areas that it's not focusing on. We also note that it is avoiding the solid geometry that we want, and it's not dropping into these pockets. So this is a great way for us to remove this material using area mill and rest machining. If we go into the parameters, notice that there's not technically a rest machining option in here. Some other toolpaths do have rest machining options, but in our case we manually dictated where we wanted this to be cut. I also do want to note that there are some areas where we are going through the stock at a rapid rate. So we want to make sure that we address these areas inside of the toolpath. So back under Parameters and back under Toolpath Type, we have to make sure that we go into these areas. So we're going to take a look at the avoidance regions, and we have two loops set. We have this lower loop, in this lower loop here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to reverse this chain. I'm going to say OK, and I want to do a preview of my chain. I want to regenerate that toolpath and take a look at these rapid regions. Inside of our cut parameters, we want to make sure that we're keeping the tool down in a certain amount. In this case, we'll do 500% of the tool diameter. Under linking parameters, we want to make sure that our retract rate is absolute. Let's go ahead and regenerate this one more time. And now our tool is retracting to 0.05 above top of stock. This is something we need to be aware of whenever we're dealing with material that's in the center of our part. If we're going up an incremental amount, say 0.05, and we're dealing with a pocket such as we did on the top section here, that's perfectly fine. But in some cases when we have rapid movements going through stock, in this case islands or bosses, we want to make sure that we are completely avoiding those when we preview the chain on the screen. Let's go back to an isometric view and let's save our file so we can move on to the next lesson.